Hi everyone, welcome to another video here on She's Fit. Have you ever stopped to think that your phone might be the biggest silent saboteur of your weight loss journey? I'm not talking about the fast food recipes you see on Instagram, but rather how blue light, notifications, and endless scrolling are literally changing your body's chemistry. If you're dieting and working out but still not seeing the results you expect, it is time to face the truth. Your pocket companion might be drastically slowing down your fat burning. Stay with me, because the digital detox I am going to teach you today is the secret ingredient you've been missing to finally lose weight. Before we dive in, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing, and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me keep bringing amazing content to you. Trust me, here at She's Fit, you're going to discover how to transform your body in the best way possible. So, let's get into it. Before we start, I need to share something that has made all the difference for me. You know those days when you try hard but feel like your body just isn't responding the way it should? Well, I found out that sleep has way more impact on weight loss than I ever imagined. That's when I discovered Sleep Lean, a natural supplement specially designed to help women burn fat while they sleep. Yes, while they sleep. It's not a miracle, of course, but when combined with good nutrition and the right habits, the results are amazing. I personally felt my body lighter, my belly less bloated, and a different kind of energy just within the first few weeks. I'll leave the link here in the description so you can check all the details after the video. Trust me, it was a game changer for me. Now, let's get back to the video content. The first and most powerful pillar of our detox is understanding the insidious biology hiding behind your phone screen. You know that sleep quality is absolutely crucial for weight loss, right? But what you might not know is how directly the blue light emitted by your smartphone acts as a chemical suppressor of your weight loss efforts. The mechanism works like this. Blue light, especially short-wave light, signals to your brain that it's daytime. When you use your phone at night, you are literally lying to your internal system. Your brain, being deceived, drastically halts the production of melatonin, the master hormone that orchestrates the onset of sleep. Melatonin isn't just there to make you fall asleep. It's vital for regulating your metabolism. Research shows that low nighttime melatonin is linked to a reduction in your body's ability to use fat as energy. When you don't get enough sleep or have fragmented sleep, which blue light guarantees you don't, just confuse your circadian rhythm. You also put your body into a state of chronic physiological stress. The body reacts to this perceived threat by ramping up the production of cortisol, the famous stress hormone. Elevated cortisol is the architect of fat accumulation because it signals the body to conserve energy and store calories, especially in the form of visceral fat, the deep, dangerous fat that concentrates in the abdominal region, notoriously known as stress belly fat. To make matters worse, chronic cortisol increases insulin resistance, making it even harder for your body to process carbohydrates and making it easier to store sugar as fat. But the situation gets even worse with what we call double hormonal hunger. Sleep deprivation caused by blue light severely dysregulates ghrelin and leptin. Think of ghrelin G, it's your hunger hormone, give me food. Think of leptin L, it's the satiety hormone, leave the food. When you are sleep deprived because of your phone, ghrelin levels skyrocket, increasing your feelings of hunger and appetite. At the same time, leptin levels plummet, causing it to take longer for you to feel full, even after eating. The result is a vicious cycle. You feel hungrier, you feel less satisfied, and your body, under the influence of cortisol and insulin resistance, is biologically programmed to store every extra calorie. That is why you get those irresistible cravings, usually in the late afternoon or at night, for refined carbohydrates and sweets. Your diet turns into a constant battle against your own hormonal biology, which has been thrown out of whack by the screen. O scroll infinito das redes sociais no este apenas te rubando 5 minutos. Les escutando su sistema de recompensa et dixando chronicamente vulnerable foam emotional. O celular est ensinando a ser impulsiva y a buscar a gratificio inmediata. A ironia que a gratificio instantánea da tela e do dos deprime sua capacidade de buscar a gratificio atrasada aquela que vem do esforço consistente, como se exercitar hoje para ter resultados MMS. O detox digital, na verdade, reajusto su termostato de recompensa, treino para o su cerebro para que ele volte a encontrar satisfação e prazer atividades de baixo estímulo, mas de alto valor como cozinhar uma refeição nutritiva, sentir o corpo se mover treino, simplesmente respirar e sentir gratidão, ao reduzir a sobrecarga digital, VOC resgata sua capacidade de resistir a cravings e de se conectar verdadeiramente como que o seu corpo precisa, e não apenas como que o seu cerebro deseja momentaneamente. Now, let's dive into the territory of instant gratification and how it completely deregulates your appetite. Think of your phone as a brain snack machine. Every notification, every like you receive, every new message in your inbox releases a small but potent hit of dopamine. Dopamine isn't the pleasure hormone itself. It's the neurotransmitter of motivation and the pursuit of reward. Your brain loves this easy, fast, and predictable dopamine, and it becomes addicted to the cycle of checking your phone in hopes of that next pleasure click. The big problem here is tolerance. Just like a substance addiction, constant exposure to these dopamine spikes depletes and desensitizes your reward system. Your brain gets used to sky-high levels of stimulation. When you try to step away from your phone, or when the notifications stop for a moment, your brain enters a low state, actively seeking a quick and powerful source of pleasure to compensate. And this is where food comes in as the perfect substitute. The brain makes associations. It understands that the fastest, easiest, and most socially acceptable way to get a dopamine spike is through hyper-palatable foods, those rich in sugar, fat, and salt, like fast food and processed sweets. These foods are designed to release a flood of dopamine, replicating the sensation of addictive scrolling. You aren't eating because your stomach is empty physical hunger, but because your brain is craving a dopamine fix emotional hunger. Endless scrolling on social media isn't just stealing 5 minutes of your time. It's draining your reward system and leaving you chronically vulnerable to emotional eating. Your phone is teaching you to be impulsive and to seek immediate gratification. The irony is that the instant gratification from the screen and the sweet suppresses your ability to seek delayed gratification, the kind that comes from consistent effort, like exercising today to see results in a month. A digital detox is actually a reset for your reward thermostat. It's training for your brain to find satisfaction and pleasure again in low-stimulus, high-value activities like cooking a nutritious meal, feeling your body move during a workout, or simply breathing and practicing gratitude. By reducing digital overload, you rescue your ability to resist cravings and truly connect with what your body needs, rather than just what your brain momentarily desires. This is one of the most insidious and crucial points that we often ignore: the absolute lack of mindfulness during meals. Think about it. You're having lunch or dinner, but your eyes, your mind, and your attention are hijacked by your phone. You're watching a video, replying to a group chat, or scrolling through your feed while moving the fork to your mouth. You are, quite literally, practicing distracted eating. And this distraction is a powerful enemy to your weight loss. Scientific studies in behavioral nutrition are clear. When we eat without paying attention, our brain doesn't properly register the meal. The satiety process isn't just chemical, it's also visual and cognitive. If your focus is on the screen, your brain is missing vital information about the flavor, the texture, and crucially, the amount of food you've consumed. The result? You eat much faster, which prevents the fullness signal from reaching your brain in time. You end up consuming a significantly higher amount of calories without even realizing it, because the act of eating has become purely automatic. The worst part is the hormonal impact. Remember leptin, the satiety hormone? The signal that leptin tries to send to your hypothalamus, okay, we're full, is completely run over and drowned out by the distraction of the screen. The communication between your stomach and your brain, a process that takes about 20 minutes, is sabotaged. You finish your meal, and 5 minutes later, you feel unsatisfied and prone to snacking because your brain never received the cognitive closure of that meal. The act of eating loses its function of nourishment and pleasure, becoming nothing more than a mechanical filler. To unlock weight loss, we need to reactivate the gut-brain axis, the vital communication line that ensures your intake matches your needs. This requires the exact opposite of distracted eating. It requires mindful eating. It means having your phone banned from the table, savoring every bite, chewing slowly, and genuinely paying attention to your body's signals of fullness. When you eat mindfully, you naturally eat less, absorb nutrients better, and experience much greater satisfaction. Understand this. Having your phone at the table isn't just a social fox pause. It is a measurable physical and mental obstacle to your success in losing weight. Here, the equation seems simple, but the implications are profound. The time you spend staring at your phone is time you are not moving. However, the way your smartphone sabotages weight loss goes much deeper than just swapping the gym for the couch. The real issue lies in the shift of priorities and the decision fatigue imposed by the digital world. When you are constantly connected, bombarded by notifications, messages, and stimuli, your brain is in a continuous state of high alert and micro-decision-making. Should I reply now? Should I click on this news story? This consumes your willpower and your cognitive power, a finite resource we use to make healthy choices. By the end of the day, your willpower reserve is drained by digital overload. It becomes much easier to succumb to the comfort of the couch and the scroll than to make the decision to go through with that 30-minute workout or the walk you had planned. Your brain is being conditioned to value instant gratification and the false sense of urgency of the virtual world over the effort that leads to a future reward. Digital sedentarism is a physiological reality. It's not just the absence of formal exercise. It is the time spent in total inactivity that could be used for low-level calorie burning and mood-boosting activities, known as need non-exercise activity thermogenesis, such as getting up to get water, walking the dog, or preparing a meal from scratch. Additionally, the phone becomes a mechanism for avoiding boredom. Boredom, in reality, is a catalyst for creativity and movement. By eliminating boredom with a screen, you eliminate the natural impulse to get up and do something active. A digital detox, in this context, is an act of autonomy. It gives you back the freedom to make decisions aligned with your weight loss goals, protecting your willpower reservoir so you can consistently prioritize your body as health over the relentless demands of your inbox. We've reached the heart of the mental issue, the factor that is intimately and directly linked to weight gain and the inability to maintain weight loss: the toxic impact of social comparison. Your phone is a portal to an incessant flow of perfectly filtered and edited content. Social media is not reality. It's a series of meticulously curated shop windows, showcasing only the highlights and unattainable perfect bodies. Constant exposure to these unrealistic ideals and weight loss journeys that look like magic creates a vicious cycle of destructive social comparison and chronic body dissatisfaction. When you come across this manufactured perfection, your brain immediately goes into judgment mode. This comparison isn't motivational. It is deeply demoralizing and leads to subclinical depression and anxiety. This attacks your self-esteem and significantly spikes your anxiety and stress levels, and yes, your cortisol levels skyrocket again. Science proves that stress and dissatisfaction activate your reward system in a negative way, causing you to seek immediate relief for emotional pain. This is exactly when your phone turns into a source of self-criticism and self-sabotage. When we feel anxious, inadequate, or frustrated with the lack of progress we see online, it's incredibly easy to fall into the trap of comfort eating. In that moment, food is no longer nourishment. It's a coping mechanism. It's a quick, temporary medication for difficult emotions. Sugar, specifically, provides that dopamine spike that replaces the pleasure you aren't finding in real life and drowns out the inner critic that social media just amplified. Furthermore, the anxiety generated by the need to be constantly online, what we call FOMO, fear of missing out, and the need for external validation through likes consumes the mental energy required for consistency. Consistency in weight loss requires calmness, clarity, and a gentle relationship with the process. Digital stress robs you of your clarity and turns healthy decision-making into an exhausting task. A digital detox, in this sense, is more than just turning off the device. It's a radical act of mindful self-compassion. It means protecting your mind from the toxicity of unrealistic perfection, allowing you to build a positive, kind, and, above all, sustainable relationship with your own body. By detoxing your mind from digital judgment, you regain the inner strength to make healthy choices not out of obligation or guilt, but out of self-love and self-care. Now that you've internalized how your phone affects your biology, your hunger, your metabolism, and your mind, it is time to move from awareness to tactical and practical action, because knowledge is useless without a change in behavior. The first and most vital step for your weight loss starts with sleep. You need to create a sacred sleep zone. This means your bedroom is your most important phone-free zone, and your smartphone should never be right next to your bed. The solution is physical removal. Set up a charging station for your phone in another room, like the kitchen or the living room. The key here is to guarantee a golden hour of decompression before bed, which means putting the device away 60 minutes before you hit the sheets. Use a traditional alarm clock. This hour is crucial to allow your brain to start producing melatonin without the suppression of blue light. This improves the depth and duration of your sleep and consequently optimizes fat burning and muscle repair, preventing you from starting your day with notification anxiety and high cortisol. Moving on to the second pillar, you must implement a digital blackout during meals. Phones are banned from the table, and this isn't about etiquette, it's a physiological necessity. Use this time to practice mindful eating, focusing on your senses. The smell of the food, the colors on the plate, the texture, and the flavor. Remember, it takes about 20 minutes for your brain to receive the hormonal satiety signal from leptin. If you eat while distracted and fast, you sabotage this process, leading to overeating and dissatisfaction. By removing the screen, you force your brain to pay attention, allowing satiety hormones to do their job and drastically reducing the chance of you snacking later. The third step is to cut the unnecessary noise by eliminating non-essential notifications. Notifications are the dopamine triggers that keep your brain addicted and your body in a state of high alert. You should disable all notifications that aren't calls or emergency messages. Emails, news, games, and likes are not urgent. By cutting out this constant noise, you reduce the chronic release of cortisol, the hormone that stores fat, and increase your focus, saving your willpower for healthy weight loss decisions. Next, you need to schedule your scroll, transforming social media use from a reactive habit into intentional behavior. Instead of grabbing your phone every time you're bored, set aside fixed, short blocks of time, 10 to 15 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day for your social apps. Outside of these blocks, the phone stays in airplane mode or put away. Most importantly, identify your triggers. If you reach for your phone whenever you're bored, stressed, or waiting, replace that trigger with an alternative behavior, like doing 3 minutes of stretching or drinking a glass of water. And the fifth and most important point is positive substitution. Your weight loss depends on you burning more energy, and a digital detox frees up the time to do just that. Use the time you saved from scrolling to increase your neat non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is your daily calorie burn. Swap 15 minutes of scrolling for 15 minutes of dancing in your living room, a brisk walk around the block, or actively prepping a healthy snack. Movement boosts your mood and your calorie burn, while the screen brings it down. Remember, a digital detox isn't about banning technology. It's about taking back control of your time and your body, using this new freedom to realign your routine with your weight loss goals, using technology to your advantage, not against your health and your results. Your phone is a powerful tool, but don't let it become the chain that ties you to a body and a life you don't want. Real weight loss starts with a balance between the physical and the mental. Start your digital detox today, reclaim your sleep, lower your stress, and watch how losing weight becomes naturally easier. Change is just one switch off away. Make the decision, protect your progress, and start seeing the results you've always been looking for. And don't forget the tip I gave you at the beginning. If you need to lose weight, click the link in the video description and get Sleep Lean right now. It might be exactly what is missing in your journey. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe here to She's Fit, and share this video to help the channel grow. Also, let me know in the comments what kind of content you want to see next to help you on your weight loss journey.